Thank you, Honourable Chairperson. Honourable Chairperson, I would like to start off by thanking the Honourable Gungubele for bringing the subject for discussion to the House. I think it's a very laudable subject, and I think, unfortunately, that a debate like today will not be the end of this kind of discussion. I think it's absolutely necessary that we perhaps find different structures or discussion groups to take this issue further. I think it's absolutely essential. The topic for today deals with non-racialism and social cohesion for a prosperous South Africa. So if I can argue from the other side, yes, we all want to create a prosperous South Africa to the benefit of all South Africans. And how do we want to achieve that? By having a non-racial state, and then through social cohesion. Now, when I come to non-racialism, I would like to start off with the holy grail of all documents for the ANC, the Freedom Charter itself, as adopted at the Congress of the People at Kliptown on 26 June 1955. And I quote, "We the people of South Africa declare for all our country and the world to know that South Africa belongs to all who live in it, black and white, and that no government can justly claim authority unless it is based on the will of all the people." In both instances, very strong emphasis on the term all. Then I go to the founding provision of the Constitution, Chapter 1, Section 1B, which says clearly that our state is a state founded on certain values. And one of those values is the whole idea of non-racialism. And I don't think there's anyone in South Africa that would not be in favor of non-racialism. There may be some who favor racialism. I've recently heard some speeches that sound very racialist in that sense. But I think the majority of South Africans are reasonable people, and they do not believe in anything else than non-racialism. However, when we get to the equality clause, which says equality includes the full and equal enjoyment of all rights and freedoms, then it goes on to make the exception that certain measures can be taken, and that takes us to black economic empowerment, that takes us to affirmative action. And my concern is that we currently do have a very racialized society, where some people feel excluded and some feel that they are not part and parcel of the greater nation of South Africa. Both the President last week during the question time and the Honourable Gungubele today referred to the metaphor of a ladder. I understand that ladder should be there, it should be held up and allow people who are not on top of the building or on top of society to climb the ladder. It shouldn't be pushed back. But there's a fundamental misunderstanding about the situation. It's not correct to think that people belonging to one group or one racial group are on top and all the other people at the bottom belongs to a different racial group. That is not currently the reality of South Africa. Let me get to social cohesion. Very important, but what is the problem? Why don't we have social cohesion? Why do we always talk about that? I believe true nation building and social cohesion will not succeed if we merely continue to stumble from one sporting event to the next without successfully creating a sense of belonging amongst all our peoples. We've had numerous sporting events, and then there's a wonderful expectation and everybody is excited about being South African, and that dwindles. As long as we do not find real unity in our diversity, we will not succeed with nation building. We need to reach out and use that as the building blocks to form a stable democratic dispensation, because without that, we will not have social cohesion. And my problem is, because we have such a vast amount of racism in South Africa, and it comes from different places and from different sides. No, it does not come from me. I can assure you definitely not so. You're completely wrong. I see racism from one side, and I don't think that's a good idea. The fact of the matter is, in the end, South Africa needs to have social cohesion. Without that, we will not succeed. We are in favor of that. Further discussion. Thank you very much, Chairperson.
No, thank you very much, Honourable Member. I will request the Honourable L. Moss to mute the microphone, please. You are causing a disturbance in the sitting.